There she is, bringing her in right now live. Megan the Stallion, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. It's so good to see you.
No, it's good to see you. I like the long hair.
Oh, you do? Thank you, Megan. I appreciate it. I'm let it grow out for the holidays, I think.
Very quarantine of you.
Exactly. We've all been living through it. Speaking of which, here you go. You know, releasing an album that was built through quarantine, wasn't it?
Right in the living room.
All right, so you got,
Oh, wow.
but you can't see this unless you're watching the video now. But she's sitting with the background of good news stories behind her. These are all good news stories. I hope they're good news. They should be, right?
It is.
Yeah.
This is all Megan Thee Stallion. And everything about me is good news.
It is. She's bringing the good news. We need the good news. But I want to, we just played Savage there, but I want to hear more about how this came together in the midst of one of the most challenging times of our lives for sure.
Yeah. So Savage was already going crazy. And, you know, it was just already a smash.
Yeah.
And I'm in the living room. I'm probably in the kitchen because during quarantine, I spent a lot of time in the kitchen.
Yeah, I want to know more about that in a second.
So my team calls me and they're like, Beyonce's going to get on the remix. And I'm like, what? Like, she's going to do what? Beyonce? The Beyonce? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, shut up, whatever. So the next day, my manager comes in and he's like, you need to go record a new verse of to Savage. And I was like, got it. So literally I went in the living room, recorded a new verse, sent it, and then like the next few days,
Crazy.
we got the remix.
Craziness.
Wow.
And I cannot believe this. I called my grandma, I'm like, Nanny.
Beyonce reached out. She's going to collaborate with me.
Yeah, but I didn't want to tell anybody till it was like for sure. So I didn't even call my grandma until I actually heard the song.
Yeah. You don't want to get Nana excited before.
Yeah, we cried.
But Megan, so I want to. I was reading, you know, when you talked about back doing mixtapes back when that was sort of like flirting or dating with your fans, and now the album is like marriage. Tell me more about that.
So, like my mixtapes and my EPs, like those were just me getting to know everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really want to make a big commitment. Like we're dating, like you know, we're getting to know each other. And I never wanted to call anything an album because I'm like, I'm not ready to be married yet. Like this is a big commitment. Like saying that this is an album means that this is something I'm taking very seriously. And I take all my music seriously, but like this is my baby. Like.
But what changed? What switch? Was it the Beyonce call? Like, what was the switch that changed in your mind to say, I'm getting married?
I just felt like it was the right time. Like when you know, you know.
I love it. I love it.
So, yeah, I just definitely felt like with everything that's going on in the world right now, everything that I've been through, I just felt like, okay, this is the time for me to actually get committed and call something an album.
I mean, WAP is a massive global success. I saw them singing outside the White House after the election results, actually.
Okay, yes, y'all better go out there and chant it.
I mean, they were chanting it. And, of course, Savage, the album is called Good News, which you should know comes out on Friday from Megan Thee Stallion. Megan, what was the best news that you heard this year? Forget you and your album and everything. Did you hear a lot of good news stories? Because I feel like every time I turn on the news, it was bad news.
So that's why I wanted to name my album Good News, because it literally, you cannot get on social media. You cannot turn on the
It was
TV.
all bad.
Something bad, something dark. And I'm like, you know what? The world needs some good news, and it need to come from Megan Thee Stallion.
I agree.
So that's why.
Back when we were allowed to go to restaurants and things like that on a regular, did you make your reservation under Megan Thee Stallion?
No, like
okay, because that would get you a good table.
Everybody knows everybody's name on my team, so it doesn't matter. Like anybody's name, they're like,
oh, she's
Megan's
coming in. She's rolling in.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you spent time in the kitchen during quarantine, and that I'm a food guy. Like food is what I live for. So I started thinking, is there a signature thing that you did in your kitchen, or a signature dish that you have that I should know about?
No, we were cooking all kind of stuff in the kitchen during quarantine, just coming up with stuff. I was looking on Instagram and people make banana bread.
Oh,
I'm like, so I was cooking like anything. We're wrapping honey buns and turkey bacon and all kind of stuff. It was like, oh, how are we coming up with these snacks? But we're bored. So we're eating everything in the refrigerator.
That was one of the, and I actually thought of what I want to do for the new year. I actually want to master, instead of taking a cooking class, I want to learn 3 dishes like an expert. Like I'm going to find a cooking class teacher and say, okay, I want to learn this and I want to practice it 100 times and get it perfect. And then this and this. And those will be my go-tos all the time if we can ever entertain again, you know?
I know how to cook salmon really well.
Okay, I like salmon.
Spaghetti and nachos. So like we would definitely eat a lot of nachos.
So you mentioned two of my favorite things to make. Nachos I like to make on a cookie sheet flat. I turn the broiler on at the last part to bubble the cheese up so it's almost brown, the cheese.
Yeah.
And on the salmon, what you should try is this. Order it or find it. A cedar piece of wood, a cedar plank piece of wood, and you put the salmon on there and you cook it in the oven or the grill or wherever. And the flavor is incredible that goes into the salmon. So just remember, cedar plank salmon. Look it up after this, and you're going to have the most amazing salmon dish. I'm telling you.
Like, I'm literally looking at my
Cedar plank salmon. Megan, the Stallion, you can thank me later.
I'm going to thank you later. I'm going to try it probably later.
I'm so happy to see you. It's so great that you are giving us some good news and some good music to think about, which is coming out on Friday. Megan Thee Stallion, her debut marriage, her debut album.
I'm getting married in front of the whole world. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a long journey for us.
Well, you take care of yourself and stay close. We'll check in with you soon, okay?
Okay, talk to you later.
Bye, Megan.
Bye.